really can't stop Henry Cavill, can you? I mean, the man's played a legendary DC superhero, a live-action adaptation of a highly beloved video game character, and now that he's no longer part of that either, he's going to join Amazon's Warhammer project. And then there's Elon Musk, who might as well just hand Twitter over to Mr. Beast. But seriously, how does Mr. Cavill land such amazing roles? Maybe it's because he knows how to make a grand entrance. Look, I know we're all sad that our favourite Witcher isn't going to be gracing Netflix's screens again, but what's even worse is the fact that we won't get to see Henry play Superman either. Of course, the TV Regent was always going to give a fitting goodbye to this modern legend, so here I am with the top 10 Superman entrances in the movies. Well, it's technically Henry Cavill's Superman, but you already knew that, I guess, didn't you? Like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm always about the extra dose of super. You didn't expect the first entry to be evil Superman now, did you? Yeah, I know there are way too many people trying to mimic this concept, but come on, the only copycat worth mentioning here is Homelander. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about those dudes, I'm all about the OG. So I'm sure I don't need to explain the whole nightmare situation to you, but I do want to shout out how awesome the color grading is for those sequences. It's exactly why I love this particular entrance. There's a general sense of tension and uncertainty for Batman as he's captured and taken hostage, and to watch Superman drop down in front of his soldiers like that was pretty badass. The soldiers bending the knee to Kal-El was a nice little touch as well, kind of reminded me of 300 for some reason. Guess it's a Snyder thing. Okay, so this scene totally cements Superman as the strongest member of the Justice League, hands down. Sorry, Wonder Woman, I still love you, even despite whatever it was you were trying to accomplish with Wonder Woman 1984. Anyway, let's get back to the scene, okay? What really stands out about this entrance is that it's got the typical Hollywood formula of a hero dropping by to save the day just when all hope seems to be lost. See, this is why studios should always go for tried and tested formulas. The entrance in itself is pretty subtle, with Superman giving Steppenwolf a quick lesson on truth and justice. Personally, I love it because the casual dialogue acts as a great contrast to the whooping Kal-El hands down to his enemy with minimal effort. I mean, it takes a serious competitor to make Steppenwolf look like Sheep. Come on, that was a good one, don't say it wasn't.
I believe in truth, but I'm also a big fan of justice.
Here's another one you probably weren't expecting, eh? See, I'm full of surprises, just like The Witcher's writers at Netflix. So this scene is actually right at the end of the movie where a poor kid's getting bullied by a bunch of Gen Z trash that would clearly get cancelled within seconds in the real world. Since it's a Shazam movie though, you'd expect to see him show up to rescue his buddy, which he does, but he's also got a friend along with him as well. And yep, that's Superman's cue to make his entrance. But not before he picks up a little snack from the school canteen. Now, let me clear up a couple of things about this one. The Man of Steel in this scene isn't actually played by Henry Cavill, but it's still his Superman, so it still counts, alright? More importantly, you must be thinking that this is a pretty basic entrance, but that's where you're wrong. Superman isn't only about defeating kaiju-level monsters or crazy bold billionaires, he's a superhero to everyone on the planet, and no task is too small for him. So showing up to help an innocent boy in school is exactly what made us comic book nerds fall in love with him in the first place. Listen, I know all the girls keep swooning over how hot Mr. Cavill is in real life, but this scene kind of takes that statement a bit too literally. An oil rig catching fire is never good news for anyone. Well, maybe apart from a corporate competitor. Okay, back to the scene. I'd pretty much give up hope on any chances of survival if I was one of those dudes trapped in the rig. But then comes Clark Kent in all his bare-chested glory to take all the men to safety and all the women to their fantasies. It's a pretty solid entrance with a nice build-up suggesting something big is coming behind the locked door. I've also got to give props to whoever decided to put Superman on fire for the scene. The CGI is not exactly the best piece of work, but it's a lot better than a non-mustache, believe me. For a guy who keeps saying, "I'm vengeance," Batman sure is a big sissy when it comes to facing off against his overpowered alien nemesis. The Snyder Cut gave us plenty of gems to enjoy, with one of the primary differences being the final nightmare sequence. It creates a nice gloomy situation before evil Superman makes his appearance and strikes fear into Batman's heart. Just look at his face, bruh. It's as if he's seen a ghost or something. It's not just Bruce Wayne who gets scared from this sudden appearance. Every surviving member of the Justice League becomes wary of the killing machine in front of them, and they might look like they're getting ready for battle, but we all know how business is going to go down here. I even felt bad for Amber Heard. First she's got to settle her case with Johnny Depp, and now she's got to face off against evil Superman. Thank God I don't have to worry about any legal cases with a crazy ex-wife. Just kidding, I don't need a wife when I've got my guys by my side. So return the love and like, share and subscribe now. Alright, what else does Clark Kent have for us? Billionaires love to flaunt their toys, just ask Tony Stark. The more recent versions of Batman might not be as flashy as Iron Man, but if you look back at Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, you know that Batman also loves to flex his wealth. Part of that wealth is his epic Batmobile that's the pinnacle of masked vigilante transportation. Now it might be an amazing car for sure, but I think Bruce really overestimated his dollars over here. First the guy goes through a pretty hectic chase and battle scene with a bunch of criminals, and then he happens to bump into the one and only Kal-El, who destroys the car without really even doing anything. I love how the Batmobile flashes its light on Superman to somewhat mark his entrance, and of course, the look on Batman's face is priceless. Why are you always so scared of seeing Clark, bro? His name ain't Martha. If there's one particular defining trait of Superman, it's his shiny blue suit and red cape. That costume has been the most loved outfit by nerds and geeks, not just of the comic book world of the mid-90s, but also the Gen Z audience of modern times. Everyone strives to have a suit that's so easily identifiable, so we're all waiting for Kal-El's first appearance as Superman in the DCEU. Now, it's a pretty simple sequence, you know. He meets his dad's hologram and learns that he's the new savior of the planet, so he just puts on the suit. However, it's the actual appearance that makes my heart skip a beat. The way those gates open and reveals Superman in his trademark blue latex kind of reminded me of how most video games should reveal the final boss. The only difference is, this boss man is on our side. There are plenty of women out there that you should fear, you know. There's Wonder Woman, Hela, and even Kimiko from The Boys, but none of them hold a candle to Lois Lane. Yeah, that's right, this innocent-looking reporter might not look like much when you kidnap her, but it's her boyfriend who'll give you nightmares. Just ask this dude, who tried to act brave by threatening her with his gun. That's all it takes for Superman to make an epic entrance and give off a death stare that would make even Stanley Kubrick proud. I gotta hand it to that villain though. He actually threatened Superman by saying that he'd see the inside of Lois's head. Bruh, he went on to show you the inside of that wall. Better think twice before you make that kind of challenge.
You will see the inside of her head.
Black Adam. We should talk.
The Rock's not been having a good time of late, you know, with the whole Black Adam box office scenario. Now, I don't know who's teaching Dwayne Johnson his profit and loss statements, but I do know that he must be feeling extra sour after getting overshadowed by Superman in his own movie. And that too, he only shows up for a few seconds. This is exactly how much of an impact actor Henry Cavill is. The world was craving to see the redemption of Superman, and this was their moment of truth. Man, I would have probably put this as my top entry too if DC didn't decide to burst our bubbles later by revamping their whole universe. Well, their loss is Jeff Bezos' gain.
Dark side.
Not impressed.
Now, you're probably feeling a little bit bamboozled, eh? To be fair, this one's not from the 2017 theatrical release, but from the 2021 Snyder Cut. This scene also counts because it's totally different from what I explained back in entry number 9. If you don't believe me, well, here's the proof. This time, when Steppenwolf goes to chop Cyborg in half, Superman miraculously shows up and takes the axe blow as if he's getting a friendly tap on the shoulder. Had a bunch of sass and some icy breath with that, and we've got a certified list stopper right there. Superman might not have been impressed by Steppenwolf's strength, but we sure as heck were impressed by his entrance. And there you go. I hope I did Henry some justice with this list. If you're a stan and want to suggest some others, then let me know in the comments. I'm all about honouring legacy characters. Like, share and subscribe to show some love, and who knows, maybe we can convince the dudes at Discovery to give Superman another chance if this video does well. Alright then, I'll see you next time in the TV region.